In terms of the first question, social media platforms most definitely censor their users based on ideology. Anyone who presents an extreme side against the company's ideology will end up getting their account banned and will likely be disallowed from having an account on the website or app ever again. Multiple articles from sources such as the Daily Caller and Life News have claimed that Twitter is currently censoring some pro-life messages and advertisements. In discordance with these claims, Twitter claims they treat all advertisers the same, which I have no doubt is true. It just so happens that the standards that Twitter uses to judge content are against pro-life stances on abortion. Twitter is a private company, and as a result, they should and do have full control over all the content that appears on their website, and if the full terms and conditions that every single user agrees to were read, it is likely that Twitter reserves the right to remove content that they deem offensive. If such actions were found to be occurring on something such as a government website, there would be a difference because the government guarantees all citizens freedom of speech through the Constitution, which is effectively the government's terms of service. As of February 2019, YouTube is considering removing the dislike button from its website in an attempt to prevent its users from abusing the feature. Examples of this supposed abusing could be seen when the masses decided that YouTube Rewind was not a good creation, so individuals started campaigning across the internet on other websites such as Reddit to promote others disliking the video, which eventually put the videos as the #1 most disliked video, with 16.4 million dislikes and a disapproval rating of approximately 86%. The only other videos that have this kind of disapproval rating are videos that are specifically asking for dislikes. And so this rate of dislikes is extremely high in the realm of videos that are posted seriously and not asking for the dislikes. By doing this, YouTube is removing a form of expression from its users, but like the situation with Twitter, there is absolutely nothing wrong with what they are planning on doing. Using the website in no way guarantees you the ability to let a creator know that you dislike their content, and YouTube's ability to alter their own product how they see fit should be and is completely protected by the fact that they are a private company that can change their product however they want, and their users have no obligation to keep this product available to themselves. In regards to the second question, I believe that it is extremely plausible to the point that it is very likely that phone companies will start monitoring their users and censoring or banning the users from their services. Of course, there would be public outrage from a so-called lack of privacy, but the truth is that a phone company isn't going to care if some random couple is having some intimate conversation or if there's a personal argument going on. The company is only going to care if a user is doing something blatantly illegal, such as slander or planning terrorist attacks that could affect the company's public image if found out about, because at the end of the day, the company needs to keep their profits, and they can only do that through paying customers, but they won't keep paying customers if they're banning them for disagreeing with them in the slightest way, and they'll never let profits drop like that. And while phone companies want to keep profits, they also don't want to be seen as helping terrorists plan an attack or something of that nature, which is something that if it is clearly communicated to the public will likely speed up the process of companies monitoring customer communication. While the idea of a private company monitoring their users' data might seem intrusive, it cannot be forgotten that the NSA did the exact same thing after 9/11 to prevent another attack, and they still collect metadata to this day from phone companies, according to the New York Times. One possible argument that could be made against the phone companies monitoring communications is that people stop paying for the company's service and start taking their business to a company that is willing to leave their calls and texts uncensored. Companies will, of course, find a way to market this change in their operations. The companies will make their customers believe that the monitoring is only for their safety and that there will be minimal intrusion. And at first, this will be what happens and it'll be as advertised, but over time, the executives will start to test how far they can take their monitoring to the point where they could reach the level that social media companies are at right now. So the amount of censoring will be equal across the two platforms. And all of this would be completely legal and ethical of the companies to do, seeing as they are private companies that are managing data that is willingly given to them by the users. The users are using their software and services to communicate, and that software is owned by the company, which effectively makes the data transferred their property as well. And if the terms of service of contracts are read, it's probably in there that the company will own the data and they can do whatever they want with it. And as a result of this, I'm predicting that people will start to turn to using more primitive communication methods such as mail to send sensitive information because it goes through a government service which is more heavily regulated and the privacy is legally protected.